Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Tia. I'm an intuitive empath, a psychic medium, an energetic healer. I carry the violet flame of healing, and I am on the twin flame journey here in the current lifetime. I offer that as a brief introduction for anyone new. If you are new, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. If you're returning, welcome back. Glad to see you again. I'm glad that previous messages resonated with you enough for you to come back. And for those of you who are returning, I know that it's been a while since I've been here on YouTube, starting a couple of months ago with the beginning of the shut-ins for COVID. I took some time away from social media. I was guided to take that time energetically. There was a need for me to really retreat and to process the energies. As an empath, I'm highly sensitive to the energies of the collective, and as we were moving into that period of time, there was a lot of upheaval, right? There was a lot of upheaval, there was a lot of adjustment in the collective. We all had to work through a lot to find balance. Many people still have not. It's been a very heavy time in the last couple of months, and that necessitated my going inward and balancing. And energetically, I was not being called. In fact, I was being really pushed inwardly into my own journey. But I have, in the last couple of days, really been brought back, been guided to resume readings now at this point. So I'm happy to be back. And with that, we're going to go ahead and jump in. Was there something I've forgotten? I feel like there is one thing I failed to mention here. Oh, for those of you that are new, I am here. My intention here with the channel is to be a guide and support for you. So I have been gifted with these abilities, and really the purpose is to do my own soul work, but also to use my learning, use my gifts and abilities, my insight to guide others along their soul journeys. So I'm happy that you're here. I hope that these messages can be helpful for you, that they do resonate for you. If they do, like, share, and subscribe. You never know when sharing a message may be helpful for them, as it's something that they may need to be hearing at this time. And if you're interested in a personal reading, please do let me know. My information will be in the description box. All right, we're going to go ahead and go forward. These messages for this particular reading will be for Virgo. All right, so tapping into current energies for Virgo. And for these readings I'm doing today, I was guided to just pull cards for each zodiac and follow the energies for the messages that need to come through. So that's how we're going to do this today. So for Virgo spirit, what do we have? We have the Six of Wands in reverse. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. The Star in reverse, and the Hanged Man in reverse. I need to check and see my deck because I want to make sure that I'm... All right, yeah, I have my deck upside down. So I am being called to turn these over. No worries, Virgo. I know, even I experienced like... when all those came out in reverse like that. Okay, so sorry for that. I pulled them upside down. Let's start again, shall we? The Six of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Star, and the Hanged Man. Wow, Virgo. Like, really positive energy right now coming through, especially with the Six of Wands and the Star card here, as well as with the Hanged Man. But I'm getting overall a lot of success. You are in a period of time, or moving into a new phase of success, of harmony, of victory, of healing, overcoming immense trials that had kept you previously trapped. I am getting a lot of energy around communications in the physical plane that will yield you significant abundance. We'll check more into all of these energies to see more where those abundances are coming. But certainly this is something coming in for you new in the physical plane, right? And then the Hanged Man here, and with these other energies, really the Hanged Man is telling me that you have found a way out of your trappings by finding a place of balance, by connecting with your spirituality, by seeing that the challenges are really there to guide you to a springboard that will propel you forward into this period of success and victory and abundance. So really powerful, strong, positive energy coming in for you, Virgo, right out the gate. Let's get some more clarity into these cards. I'm noticing something interesting that in the previous readings, I've only been called to pull 3, but for whatever reason, for your reading, I was called to pull another card here. And so, you know, looking at that as the number 4, I'm seeing that you're moving into a place of balance. 4s are all about balance and manifestation in the physical plane. I'm also getting a strong message about movement forward, ascending into the next dimensional reality right here in the earth plane, or in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, depending on where you are in your own soul growth. But that you are certainly ascending and moving into a new phase of being. And I feel that with this the 4 card layout here that I was, for whatever reason, called to do. So let's go ahead and check in on that 6 of Wands. We have the World, new cycles, judgment, karmic balance, and the 7 of Pentacles, right? Yielding abundance, you know, certainly harvesting abundance. There is a little bit of I'm hearing obsessiveness with material acquisition. See how this crow is kind of sitting on top of all these pentacles in this sort of hoarding kind of fashion. Just a little bit of that. But more than that, because the overall energy here is the 6 of Wands, you're moving into a place of great abundance and manifestation. You know, the harvest is coming in here. There is still some waiting energy. So maybe a little bit of like I'm feeling kind of like anticipatory energy, like a nervous sort of energy, like you're maybe feeling energetically on some level this new phase coming in, this new period of success and triumph. With the World card, I am getting, you know, you're closing out a very big cycle, and moving, and I'm getting with this judgment that you have, the previous cycle was really about karmic debt, balancing the karma. So whatever it is that you've gone through in your recent past here, that was very necessary in order for you to balance your karma and move into this new period of abundance. So we'll check in perhaps a little bit more. I'm going to wait and see what I'm called to look into more. But to start doing really great, Virgo, let's look in now to these other cards. Let's look into the Page of Pentacles. I'm going to move these over a little. So tell me more about this Page of Pentacles for Virgo spirit. Tell me more. There's an offering here of abundance. There's an offering here of something it is that you want coming through. Yep, King of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Wands. Okay. Yeah, all right. So there is some communication coming through, some kind of offering in the physical plane that will be communicated. It will have the effect of bringing you out of the remnants of this previous cycle, the hurt and the pain, the suffering that still may linger from that experience, and it will help you to gain a sense of clarity in your mental space. And that will bring you into a new position of power. You're going to be stepping more into your higher truth. You're going to be speaking that truth. You're moving in the physical plane into a period where you are experiencing a lot of lucidity. Things are clicking, I'm hearing. There's a lot of understanding where previously things were very confusing and dark. And that's what is sort of the remnants of this Five of Pentacles here. You know, these crows kind of, see if you can see those two crows at the bottom. You've been kind of been in this place, right? Being sort of left in the dark, left in the cold. But that you're coming into a new place of power, mental clarity. And that you'll be taking some strong action in the physical plane. And that you'll be doing it from a very evolved, higher place of balance, stepping more into your throne and into the powers inherent through that title, through that position, right? The king sitting in their throne has the ability to wield an immense amount of power when balanced with that power, right? Yeah, and the Seven of Wands is really about elevating and about kind of dealing with sort of the judgments of others around you as you move into this power, you know, dealing with, I'm hearing clucking order, like hierarchy. Like in this deck, the Seven of Wands is really about still being a little bit in a defensive place, because as you ascend to this new place, remember as we saw with that 4-card layout, and I felt that movement into the next dimension, you're evolving, you're moving into a very powerful place of being, and others around you are sort of perturbed by this because you're changing, you're growing, you're moving into a new cycle. And in that new cycle, you're manifesting things, you're experiencing success. And there are others in your immediate circles that are not necessarily supportive, and you may be feeling some of that energy, but know that it's because you're receiving an immense amount of activation, a lot of power, a lot of light. And you know, the way that it works with light, with dark, with energies, if you're a very highly evolved being, if you're working on yourself and you're to the point where you're ascending into the next dimension, then you are vibrating in a very high frequency of light, and that energy is going to repel those around you who are not in that vibratory space, that are not vibrating at the same level. And so the Seven of Wands tells me here that as you're moving into this new cycle, you're going to encounter some difficulty with the judgments of others. It's going to leave you a little defensive. That being said, you are experiencing an immense amount of healing as you move into this new phase. You've transmuted a lot of pain and suffering in the previous cycle. That's why you're feeling super victorious, because it was really heavy. It was really heavy. So let's look more into the Star card. And I want to ask Spirit first, you know, tell us more about this. What is Virgo healing? What are they overcoming? And, for some of you might already be in this new cycle. It has begun for others of you. You're on the precipice of that new crest, waiting for it to pitch and come in. Tell me more about this star card here, Spirit. Eight of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Chariot. Yeah. Abundance coming in for you here in the physical plane, an ability to rely on oneself to manifest everything that you need and want and desire in this physical plane. So I am getting with this, and this came through in another reading too. One of the things that's healing for you is some lack mentality consciousness. These are paradigms of belief. These are belief systems that have kept you trapped in a lack of abundance, a lack of resources, a lack of self-esteem, a lack of good connection, a lack of recognition. However that manifests for you, the Eight of Pentacles, it is for me an energy that, of course, is about abundance in the physical plane. We get all of these pentacles, and about being self-sufficient and manifesting our abundance in the physical plane. But there's also, for me, with the Eight of Pentacles, a little bit of there's always a slightly restrictive energy with the Eight of Pentacles, and it manifests in different decks in different ways. And in this particular deck, it's sort of a narrowed focus on what abundance means here on the earth plane. Yes, they're saying. So previously, maybe you thought to be successful, right? The Six of Wands is all about victory and success. To feel that energy, maybe previously you believed to be successful here in the earth plane, you needed to manifest, you need to have a lot of money, right? Money was success. Title, I'm hearing, was success. I'm hearing paradigms, I'm feeling a lot of resonance all of a sudden in my crown, that really you were going by old systems of belief to try to carve out success for yourself based on what you had previously been taught. And that was actually creating a field of lack. It was inhibiting you from manifesting all that abundance means and has to offer you here on the earth plane. And that's something that is healing. You'll start to understand that abundance is not just about money, although that is also part of it, but it's also understanding that abundance comes to us in many ways. Sometimes you don't get you don't have the money you need for something, but because it's aligned with your highest good and greatest joy, maybe some other thing opens up for you in order to manifest that thing. Abundance is sometimes connections with other people. Abundance is sometimes getting and receiving help from an unexpected person or situation or place, and knowing that is also how spirit is coming into the earth plane to assist you, and that is a sign of abundance. It's not just about money, it's about love, it's about always getting what you need, maybe not necessarily getting what you want, right? And at the same time that I'm saying that, I'm also hearing, but also understanding that you can get what you want. I'm feeling it actually now that I say that more along those lines. Like maybe that was part of the lack mentality consciousness, is that as long as you covered your needs, you should be okay, but you didn't feel okay. You didn't feel successful. You didn't feel abundant. And now something is shifting and changing. You're moving into the new cycle, and you understand that you can have what you need, but you can also have what you want. That isn't greed. I feel like I hit a note there. The Fool. You are moving into a period of adventure. One of the things that's healing for you, I think, is this. You're moving out of a space of being closeted in yourself, not feeling free to take risks, right? The Fool is about taking risks, to take a new adventure, taking the leap of faith, to manifest something fantastic for yourself, moving on to the new adventure. The Fool is an energy it's a very excited energy, and there's a lot of courage involved with the Fool. And that's something that's healing for you. I'm getting a sense that maybe you always held back, right? Always following the standards set before you. And that meant being very, I'm hearing realistic and cautious and logical and rational. And that is kind of part of this lack mentality consciousness, because you held yourself back from experiencing everything that this world has to offer you based on that thinking. And that now you're moving into a period where you're looking forward and you're not afraid to take big risks anymore. And the Chariot card tells me that you're moving in the right direction with this. The Chariot, again, is about victory, is about success. It's about cycles coming to a close. It's about the parade that happens at the end of the competition. The Chariot is all about having already been through the race and being sort of lifted up into the air by the exhilarating feeling of that triumph. So you're moving into a period where you're not holding back anymore based on old ways of thinking and being. Very awesome energy here, Virgo. Let's look into this Hanged Man here and see what trappings you are overcoming, aside from those that we've already looked at. What can you tell me here about the Hanged Man spirit? The Hanged Man is an energy that's about transformation and change, which we're seeing here. So let's look more into, rather than really focus on the trappings, I want to look into what you're moving into. What are you transforming into? What does the new phase have coming in? And we did just have the new moon in Gemini, so there's a lot of this transformative energy here on the earth plane for the human collective at this time. Interesting. 5 of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Page of Swords. This also came out in another reading in a very similar kind of way. So you are transmuting loss and grief. You are harnessing this spiritual power behind those kinds of very hard, heavy, hurtful, pain-riddled experiences. You're understanding that spiritual springboard that I was referring to earlier. Like you are transforming into a being that can transmute hurt and pain and suffering into a call. I am getting that for you, Virgo, you are a healer perhaps, or a spiritual master. You're here to sort of help people. This Page of Wands and this Page of Swords is really telling me that what you're transforming into is a being that knows how to use their own personal experiences to help others. You're taking these past experiences and you're using them to really shape your life purpose here. And that to me right now is speaking of helping others. Being called to how this bird is sort of cawing out. And the Page is about communication. The Wands are about spirituality. And so to me, that's really, you found spiritual truth through your experiences. And now you're broadcasting what you've learned. You're broadcasting what you've been through and how you've overcome it and how you've learned to harness the energy of what seems to be a huge loss to make something powerful and new, to get to a place where you can be victorious and move into a new cycle where you can be abundant. Wow. and this Page of Swords, you are moving forward with this. There's a lot of determination I'm feeling with this Page of Swords. You're taking action in the physical plane. See how this crow is grabbing hold onto the sword, even though that sword seems to be bigger than the crow, maybe even heavier by the way that they're having to use their claws and their beak, and the sword still seems to be dragging towards the earth a little heavy, but that bird is holding that sword. It's carrying it through into the battle, into the storm. And so I'm really feeling for you, Virgo, this movement, taking action, using your past hurts and wounds and experience, your old belief systems, using all of that to make significant changes in the earth plane. You're going to be immensely helpful for a lot of people, because you are going to, by communicating the truth of your experiences, the Page of Swords, the swords are about, actions in the physical plane. Swords are used when we're fighting battles, right? And that's how you're going to fight battles here on the earth plane, and you're going to help many other people fight their own battles by sharing your experiences. That's awesome. Let's, okay, Spirit, what would you like me to look in on more? I'm being really called here to this Seven of Wands, which is what can potentially get snagged on, because it's a more negative energy right here with this Five of Pentacles and Seven of Wands than in anywhere else in your reading. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at that card. What am I going to do here? Let me see. How am I going to, let me see. Let's do this. I'll just put these like so, and then I don't want to get confused here. And then we're going to take a look at this a lot more. Now, these were supporting the Page of Pentacles, so, excuse me, I need to take a little sip of my soda there. Where was I in my thought process? Oh, so even though these are harder energies, these are lower frequency energies with the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands here, they're underlying the overarching Page of Pentacles, which is really more progressive. Again, it's about something coming in and being offered to you in the physical plane. And we did see that had a lot to do with moving into your power, right? Moving into your power. I am feeling a strong leadership energy here, and especially with this Page of Wands and the Page of Swords, and knowing that you're going to use your experiences to help others as well. I feel like that really is the position of power you're moving into. So overall, I want to just take note that this is positive energy sort of leading this little section here, but we do want to look into, and I'm feeling really called to this Seven of Wands here. And I'm feeling just now that it could be connected to some past hurt and pains. This could also be a repetitive cycle of experience that you're needing to transmute by looking at it in a different way. So let's look into this, is what I'm really feeling. And I am being called to use this deck. Tell me more about the Seven of Wands, Spirit, for Virgo. Okay, tell us more. Seven of Wands here, Spirit. Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Empress. All right, so now The Seven of Wands, remember, was telling us that there is some defensiveness that you're still experiencing, and it's really relating to your experiencing a huge leap forward in your own growth and evolution, and other people around you are going to be upset by these sudden shifts in you. I am getting that confirmation with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. The Three of Pentacles upright is usually about collaboration, but in reverse, this is telling me that there are others who aren't going along with your movements. You know, there are others around you that are not in agreement with the shifts and changes that you're making. Maybe there are relationships here that are being affected by your shifts in belief, that your shifts in self, your movements forward, the ways that you're looking at these past losses. You know, maybe you're approaching everything from an entirely different perspective. You're feeling success and victory because you're finding ease, you're finding balance, you're calling in by those actions, you're calling and manifesting in abundance. You know, you're feeling how this is really working for you, but those people that you're connected to are being upset by this movement because it's forcing them to sort of look at themselves based on your connection to them. Yeah, the Queen of Wands and the Empress. You're moving into a place of spiritual mastery, a place of poise and balance, a place of abundance, a place of power, again, a place leadership coming through with this Empress here. You are ascending and evolving, stepping into a lot of very powerful energy. And we're already seeing that so powerful that not only can you heal and manifest abundance in all of its forms for yourself, but you're also able to communicate the steps of your experiences to others in such a way that they can also be led out of their own darkness and follow a similar pathway to experience their own healing with the Star, as well as their own success. So understand that even though there is this defensiveness, you know, and this might be a way out of the defensiveness, sort of accepting it for what it is and seeing why it's happening, you know, maybe why there's a little disharmony in your connections with other people here in the earth plane. It's understanding that how we're interconnected and energy sort of interplay between humanity, between beings, you know, in the human collective, that as we change and evolve and grow, and it can work in the reverse as well, that the people that we are intimately connected to, they're going to experience that in a different way, right? In their own way, I should say. But understand that really it's a sign of your ascension. A big part of ascending into the next dimension is letting go of what no longer serves. And I know that from my own experience, as well as from learning from others who are walking their own pathways, that when you start to be awoken, many shifts start to occur. And there's a lot of shifting, and the shifting does bring about, does necessitate things falling away. And this includes relationships, this includes belief systems, this includes jobs, this includes homes, like places where you live. This includes the way that you've always chosen to live your life, the actions you take, the people you hang with, the truth you speak. Waking up is an immense amount of shift. An immense amount of shifting is required. And sometimes the connections that we have prior to walking into that place, those connections, you know, will suddenly no longer do for you what they once did. And it can be really hard letting that go. I am getting overall, as I kind of look at the spread here though, that you're not really having that hard of a time maybe letting go of these attachments. I'm sort of being called back to this Seven of Wands and seeing how that crow is up at the top of that cliff there with these other crows sort of at various levels beneath the crow. And like, it's by purpose that that crow has picked that spot. And there doesn't feel to me to be a whole lot of hesitance and unwillingness to move to that place. I am sort of feeling that there's something inside you that understands that this is part of the process. And even though it hurts, you know that it's supposed to happen, and that by moving through these experiences and feeling the hurt and pain, but still being willing to take the action, that you are progressing, you are ascending, and that is going to be helpful for you as well as for others. Wow. Wow. You are a powerful being, Virgo. Whoever's tuning into this, you know, you're going to help a lot of people. Let's get, is there anything else that you want me to look in at here, Spirit? All right, they wanted me to pull guidance, and I was called to this Hanged Man here, right? And the Hanged Man is really, and remember, it talked about sort of speaking of your own experiences to help others. So they want me to look more into that as we pull cards for final guidance for you, Virgo. So tell me more spirit guidance for Virgo going forward. I'm feeling the connection to this Hanged Man and the energies that came in underneath it. I'm sorry, that's probably really confusing. Let's just pull this back here and we'll know that that's what we're doing here. Final guidance, Spirit. Knight of Cups, Two of Wands in reverse, the Fool in reverse, that's interesting, and the Ten of Swords. And again, how interesting, I was, for whatever reason, called to pull 4 rather than 3. I've been pulling just 3 today, but for whatever reason, for your reading, 4 came out again. So I'm still feeling, again, that ascension into a higher plane of being. Let's go ahead and, hold on. Okay, I'm so sorry. My doorbell rang. It's my boyfriend coming back. So please excuse that. I don't want to stop though. So final guidance for you, Virgo. Speak your truth. It's an offering of love from you to the world and to others around you. That's coming through with this Knight of Cups. You know, bring forth your wisdom from a place of heart and a place of feeling. Focus less on the abundance factor. We do see that there's a lot of that coming in, and I'm being called back to what we were talking about with this Eight of Pentacles and understanding that abundance comes through in lots of different ways, right? It's not just about material acquisition, right? You are understanding, or you're moving into a place of understanding that the previous things in the earth plane that once brought you joy, those no longer work for you. And the thing that's really going to fill your cup is going to be this risk-taking, and it's going to be, where was the other Fool? The risk-taking, again with the Fool. Now, with this Fool coming out in reverse, it does tell me that you do still have some anxiety and trepidation about taking the risk. And I'm feeling that the risk really is related to speaking of your personal experience, right? Speaking your truth and your wisdom to move upwards for yourself. And the guidance here with this Ten of Swords is to understand that whatever hurt and pain has happened, you're closing out that cycle. This is a new beginning. There will, and again, with this Seven of Wands, I feel with this Ten of Swords, you know, there will still be people that'll not like it, that'll stab you in the back, that'll say things or do things to cause you hurt and pain. And maybe you kind of know that, and that's why there's some resistance to taking the risk to speak your truth. But ultimately you will, and that's what I'm seeing here. So I feel like the guidance here with this, with Fool in reverse, is to let go. To understand that even if you evolve past people, it doesn't mean that you don't care for them. It doesn't mean that the relationship didn't serve its purpose. It doesn't mean that it wasn't important. Sometimes it's not because it's not that we don't care for people. It's just that we've evolved past what these connections can offer us. I'm feeling pretty strongly that it has more to do with just various types of connections in your present reality. I'm not getting a strong hit here about romantic connections per se. I think it's more about associations, friendships, colleagues, people that you've turned, counselors, people you've turned to for support, that kind of thing. These are the connections, siblings, that kind of thing. Your previous support systems, the ones that you used to turn to for guidance, that these are the connections that are really being provoked at the present moment. But know that even though you may still experience like some sense of betrayal and hurt and pain, that you're at the beginning of this new cycle, and that you will ultimately be able to transmute those energies for your overall growth and abundance, and again, you will be a very strong leader and guide for other people that walk through similar experiences. They will be turning to you for guidance and wisdom and support. And that speaks of very powerful being. So right on, Virgo, continue doing your work. I hope that these were helpful for you. If they were and they resonated for you, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're interested in a personal reading, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.